So this is a bike I'll be riding for 2,700 kilometers in the longest bike ride, the longest event I've ever undertaken in a brand new bikepacking event called Final Frontier Patagonia, an unsupported event that goes from Chile to the most southerly point of Argentina. I've done a video on the event itself and why I'm taking part, and got some expert tips and advice from Josh Ibbott, a very experienced ultra distance rider and racer. That video is linked above and down below in case you missed it. But today it's all about the bike, the equipment, and the decisions I've made across the bike to hopefully get me to the finish line in one piece. And definitely lots of learnings and lessons from Badlands, which I did last year, my first ultra. So hopefully a bike that will perform extremely well. So the bike in question is a Parlee Taos full carbon fiber with a RockShot Rudy suspension fork, Hunt limitless carbon wheels with dynamo front hub and a SRAM Force Explore drivetrain. For full transparency, Parlee Cycles, the maker of the frame here, have agreed to sponsor this video and the videos I will produce from the event, and sponsor me to ride the bike. But I reached the decision to ride the bike before any agreement, collaboration came onto the table. I'm in a very fortunate position to ride dozens and dozens of gravel bikes and had plenty to choose from. I could go on for an aero gravel setup or a more bikepacking and mountain biking setup, but I settled on the Taos for a number of reasons. I want to be transparent and honest with you. Making videos isn't cheap, it costs money. Traveling to the other side of the world and everything I need for the trip, it costs a lot of money. So their support allows me to do this. So I really appreciate their coming on board to help me make this a reality, and yeah, be honest with you about that from the outset. So two reasons I chose the Parlee Taos, well, three actually. I reviewed it last year and was very impressed with the performance, the comfort and the handling with that more progressive geometry. So a higher stack and a shorter reach, kind of looks like a mountain bike frame, really very sloping top tube. So I like the way the bike rode from that test bike last year. And then a few other details that really stood out and I needed for this event. So space for 15mm wide tyres, these are 50s and big enough for the event, hopefully. And out back, I can run a SRAM Force Explore group set thanks to a UDH interface on the rear dropout. There's plenty of mounts and bash guards and down tube storage, so very useful details. And then the key detail is up front. I'm running a suspension fork, and the cool thing about the Parlee is the frame is designed around a suspension fork. In fact, the rigid fork is the same length from the axle to the crown as this RockShot Rudy. So there's no change to the geometry, the stack or the reach or fit at all. Most gravel bikes have a shorter carbon fork. So when you put a suspension fork on, as I've done with my Crux in the past, the front is raised and the bottom bracket is raised and the head angle is slackened, and it ruins the geometry, not designed for it. Unless you go for a Giant Revolt X, which is. So one of the few bikes designed from the outset to accommodate a suspension fork. And for me, a suspension fork was high on my list of desires for the trip for maximum comfort and reducing fatigue and soreness and aches and pains for 2-3 weeks of riding for me was, yeah, non-negotiable. And for Badlands last year, even though it was shorter, it was rough, and I ran a suspension stem, which was great when it worked for the first day and a half, but then it failed on me. So I knew the benefits of that suspension stem were good, but it failed on me, so that ruled that one out. So for me, a suspension fork was the obvious choice. There's 40mm of travel, so twice what you get from a Redshift or USE suspension stem. It feels better, it feels more natural being below the head tube rather than above the head tube. And yeah, that's the reason I've gone for it. Maximum comfort, it feels really good. You don't really notice it working at all. Yes, the weight is high, but weight isn't really a concern for the build. I'll be putting bags and bottles of water on there anyway, so it'll be heavy, whatever I do with the fork. So the Taos and that suspension fork have really been the sort of cornerstone of the build, but there are some other cool details as well. I've gone for a SRAM Force Explore group set because good range, it's reliable. I can take 2 or 3 batteries and charge them or swap them easily if I need to. That rear derailleur interface is robust and won't bend a mech hanger in transit or if I crash during the ride. Touch wood, hopefully I won't. And I got 170 cranks as well. And I love the ergonomics of the new hoods, and the brake levers feel fantastic. So that group set was an easy choice. And then for the wheels, a bit trickier. One of the other lessons from Badlands was I had a battery bank to power my Wahoo computer for navigation and keep my lights topped up and my phone topped up as well, just in case. But a battery bank, for some reason, failed. So I'm keen to avoid that happening again. And in an event that's so much longer than Badlands, 2,700 kilometers, and there will be places to stop in hotels and towns to charge up. But I was very keen to run a dynamo front hub, and after speaking to Josh Ibbott, it seemed like a no-brainer. So a dynamo hub to power a front light. I don't really need a front light, I won't be riding through the night, not an issue. But having a USB port so I can charge a battery bank, my phone, and my computer. And I still use battery banks, but instead of one big battery bank, I have two small ones. And my plan, hopefully, is to keep one plugged into the dynamo during the daytime to charge it up and use the other one for powering my computer, my phone, other bits and bobs, cameras as well. I'll be carrying a drone to try and capture the beauty of the Patagonia National Park. So that's my plan, dynamo front hub, USB port, two battery banks, fingers crossed, that should see an end to that issue of electronic devices going flat in the middle of the Spanish desert, as happened in Badlands last year. And there aren't many off-the-shelf wheel set options with dynamo front hub, and Hunt are one of the big brands that do that, and they very kindly loaned me a set of wheels for this build. So yeah, a Sun dynamo on the front, got some cool lights to plug into it, which I'll show you later in the video when I get everything built onto it. And for now, for tyres, I've gone for a Michelin powered gravel. I really like the tyres, really good performance. They are 47mm wide, but actually measure 50 on these wide rims and really max out the clearance on the bike. But the tyre choice is still something I haven't decided on. I have 2 weeks to decide on what tyres to actually use. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what tyre you recommend. I want a tyre that's fast rolling on road and gravel, but good grip in case it's quite chunky. I don't think it will be too chunky, but just in case. But also a tyre that's very dependable and durable and won't puncture easy. I'd rather carry extra weight in a thicker tyre and minimise that risk of a puncture. So that's my dilemma with tyres right now. These are good, but are they not fragile, but are they too delicate for such a tough challenge? So let me know what tyre you recommend. I've got 2 weeks yet to decide, panic buy some tyres. So let me know your thoughts on tyre choice by dropping a comment down below. The organisers recommend between a 40 and 50. So I reckon a 50 is a good choice for maximising comfort. And these aren't slow on the road or gravel. So yeah, I think the tyre size is good. Just the actual tyre I'm undecided on so far. And then for contact points, I've gone for a Redshift aluminium handlebar. I really like the shape of Redshift handlebars, a range of widths, swept back and slight rise, and alloy metal over carbon for extra durability and toughness. And I'll be clamping all manner of accessories onto the handlebar as well. I'd rather do it on alloy than carbon fiber personally. And the bike came with an FSA SMR semi-internal routing stem. So brake hoses are external from the handlebar and the rear brake hose goes inside the frame underneath the stem. So it should be easy to pack in the box for traveling. And then an FSA seat post in line. I might go to a setback, I'm not sure yet, and a ergon saddle so far, but I'm not sure whether on that or a Physique Argo Adaptive, haven't decided yet. And then some Parlee bottle cages. All that remains to do now is to put some bags and tri-bars on it and go for a shakedown ride. So let's do that. Right, here we go. Bloody shocking weather today. Look at it, it's foul cold. So I'm putting my rain jacket on, my astronaut suit. Oh, blimey. I can't wait to go to South America. Hopefully it's a bit warmer and drier than this. There might be some rain and wind and cold, but nothing like this, hopefully. Blimey. Right, that's better. So, I'm going to carry on riding for another few hours to get used to the bike and make sure everything is tight and nothing comes loose. Look at the lens, look at the state. I've still got 2 weeks before I fly out, so I make sure everything is tickety-boo. And yeah, let me know your feedback and thoughts on the bike setup by dropping a comment down below. But I'm carrying riding. It's so cold right now. So far, I'm really liking the fits on the bike. One of the reasons I chose the Parlee is a higher front end. That geometry really stands out, and a higher front end means less strain on my back and my neck and my shoulders, so I can ride that long distance in more comfort. And it doesn't feel slow. I can still bomb along at 20 miles per hour. The drops give me a nice low airy position, and the extensions give me that airy position as well. So yeah, while it's not slammed like a race bike, it's a sort of bike that will look after me for nearly 3,000 kilometers. And with the extra spaces under the extensions, they are much higher and much more comfortable to use. They were a bit too low at Badlands, if I'm honest with myself. And when I drop down to the extension, well, I'm not really dropping down. My head is still in the same place, but I'm just resting my arms and shoulders on the pads. So same sort of position, just a more comfortable alternative way to hold the handlebars. There we go. And I can ride on the extensions right now. Got my camera in my hand and talk to the camera and share my experience with you. I might add some blips onto these extensions to change gear when I'm down on them. That, I feel like Remco right now, but a lot slower. So yeah, bike feels good. A good shakedown ride in some suboptimal, miserable conditions, but yeah, a few weeks time I'll be in South America. Anyway, that's all for today. Stay tuned for more content from the trip and on the bike over the next few weeks. Yeah, thanks for watching, and if you missed my announcement video on this event, that's on screen just there. And of course, make sure you're subscribed, hitting the button down below. Right, so that's all for today. Thank you so much, as ever, for watching. Oh, I'm knackered.